Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to yet another exciting episode of the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge, presented by Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I can't believe that week one of high school football is in the books. It is Heritage Bowl week, and so I couldn't think of a better guest to bring on the show than a former Carver Tiger. He was a 1980 national champion with the Georgia Bulldogs, former NFL player for the Green Bay Packers and Denver Broncos, inductee into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. Please welcome to the Sports Beat, DJ Jones.
Thank you, Richard. How are you?
I am doing great, DJ. I know it's Heritage Bowl week. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of buildup for an event in Columbus being played at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium this Friday, kickoff at 7. By the way, we will be there for high school game day. Myself, you, Thrift Behringer. DJ, when it comes to the Heritage Bowl, you being a former Carver Tiger, what does the Heritage Bowl mean to you?
Wow, man, this is a powerful opportunity for obviously two great institutions that were the first two black schools here, high schools in particular in Columbus. Spencer being first, and of course, 62 years ago, Carver was a high school, and that's when the Heritage Bowl started. But it's basically, has become a family reunion because African Americans growing up here in this community many years ago could not go to some of the other high schools, and Spencer was the only high school for black kids. And of course, Carver, as I mentioned before, in 1962, they went from a junior high school to a high school, and that's where the rivalry started.
Well, DJ, of course, you played for the Carver Tigers under legendary coach Wallace Davis. What are some of your memories as a player playing in the Heritage Bowl?
Tremendous, because first and foremost, Coach Davis, our athletic director and head football coach, he was my guy, and he was a former Spencer Green Wave himself. He was a standout all-state player, earned a scholarship, just a tremendous legend for Spencer that later became legendary as a coach at Carver. So, I had that going on. And also my parents, Walter and Betty Jones, as I affectionately name on my radio show, I mentioned on my radio show, they both were graduates of Spencer. So, again, you can only imagine in this community when there were only, years ago, there were only those two institutions. So the majority of the older folks around here only know Carver and Spencer and been knowing that rivalry for quite some time.
DJ, high school football week one in the books. Your Carver Tigers got the big win over Whitewater 20-13. You are our guest picker on high school game day live at Calvary Christian. You're going to be our guest picker again, and you also will be hosting with Thrift Behringer. By the way, you can catch Thrift Behringer and DJ Jones from 4 to 6 Mondays and Thursdays on the Sportsvision's radio show on Smooth 92.1, Smooth R&B 92.1, your new home for the Atlanta Falcons. DJ, I know that this has got to be an exciting time. I know you and Thrift are going to have some amazing shows this week, especially since high school football is officially here. How exciting is this for the community that high school football has officially kicked off and we are well into the start of the season?
Well, high school football, Richard, as you know, it's special all across the country, but more importantly, here in the South, it's basically, it's religion. Folks get excited. Some towns shut down, and only if the only place you can find most of the fans are in the stadiums, man. And we're here. We started out, of course, we kicked off a great weekend last Friday night. The wonderful opportunity to do game day from Calvary Christian, their home game, and again, we just got a tremendous amount of talented football coaches and players in this area. We've been blessed to have multiple high schools programs in this area. And again, to be able to not only live stream, broadcast, and talk about these kids, we got the pleasure of honoring them at the end of the year.
DJ, I know that you and Thrift are going to be talking about high school football and sports visions. I mean, there was a lot of storylines. So the one storyline that stood out, and you had him on Sports Vision's radio show, was Coach Emmanuel Brown, the brand new head football coach of the Kendrick Cherokees, who got a statement win, 38-0 over the Walker School. I'm excited for Coach Brown. I'm excited for that Kendrick community. Besides the Kendrick game, was there any other contest that really stood out to you week one?
Well, obviously it was a disappointment that Spencer they called the game because of COVID down in Dooley County. And again, I know that that's going to probably be one of the storylines coming into Friday night's game of the Heritage Bowl. But I think Carver did a great job of going ahead and punching out the win and getting Braylon Jakes, the outstanding young man who had just went through a horrific tragedy. He was the star of the game with over 100 yards catching and a touchdown for the Carver Tigers in their victory. So, but there's a lot of, again, the Kendrick. You mentioned the Kendrick game. Coach Brown, affectionately known as Coach Mayo, to those who know him well. The Kendrick Cherokees, that tradition for those people who haven't been around long in this community, that Kendrick program has been phenomenal with some great teams, great coaches, great players who have gone to the next level. And I'm just so happy. And hopefully they got that program kick-started Friday night. And I'm looking for some wonderful, wonderful football from the Kendrick Cherokees.
I am too, DJ. They will take on Best Academy on the road, and then their home opener at Kinnett Stadium on August the 29th will be against Crawford County. We're hoping Kendrick can start 3-0 and they get into region play. And that's what I want to talk about, DJ, is with the new reclassification, you got some old rivalries that are going to come back. We have the Heritage Bowl, which is now a region game. We got the Midtown Showdown between Hardaway and Columbus. You got that rivalry between Shaw and Kendrick. I mean, you got, of course, Jordan and Columbus. I mean, what does this mean to the community that these rivalries are back and these region games count trying to go to the postseason?
Well, from everything that I've heard and everything that I've witnessed, having an opportunity to play each other. We have 8 high schools here in public high schools here in Columbus, Georgia, of course, with the one north side being in 4A. Everybody else is in 2A. So that'll bring back, some traditional rivalries that haven't been played in a few decades, man. And you know what? It's just great for the kids and great for the families to have the opportunity to not only, play against, the kids that they grew up playing Little League ball against, but also, again, for the parents having an opportunity to see these guys play at the stadiums here locally. And I know that our athletic director at Muskogee County, Jeff Battles, is happy because, again, budgetary wise, as far as traveling and whatnot, it saves them a hunk of money to be able to play the majority of their games here in the city. But across the board, I think it's going to work out great for everybody.
All right, DJ. We also are just a week away from the official start of college football, but your Georgia Bulldogs taking on Clemson, noon kickoff in Atlanta. They are a two touchdown favorite, but I do think that Clemson is not exactly the Clemson of old that won multiple national championships. They would go to the college football playoff just about every year from 2015 to 2019. But I do believe that Dabo Swinney has got some players. Is this one of those games where if Georgia's not careful, Clemson could keep it close? And what are you looking forward to about your Georgia Bulldogs opening the season against Clemson, noon kickoff in that first week?
Looking forward to an outstanding Aflac kickoff classic with, of course, the folks from the Peach Bowl. My good friend Gary Stokin is the CEO and president of the organization. And, again, I love the fact that the Georgia Bulldogs have been getting all of the preseason favor. However, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I just totally want to make sure that, we it's great to know that we have a potential Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback, and everybody's picking him to be the number one guy off the board for the NFL, next year's NFL draft, and so on and so forth with all the guys, Mikael Williams, the all-star out of Hardaway High School, who everybody else, he made preseason All-American. I see all of that, but you know what? Dabo Swinney is a championship coach. Clemson hasn't won. They've been down in Georgia. It's been Georgia's time, but, I think that, and we've had Dabo here to speak to our kids at our Sportvision's awards, football awards before, and I fell in love with his mentality. I fell in love with his knowledge of the game and how he communicates. So I know that it's not going to be a pushover. It's not going to be a blowout. I believe that the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby and the guys have a great team, but those kickoff classics early in the year, man, especially this Clemson team who has a tradition of winning and winning big. I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not under any imagination thinking that the Georgia Bulldogs are going in to blow these guys out.
And like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Smooth R&B 92.1 will be your home for the Atlanta Falcons. In fact, I caught the preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. The Atlanta Falcons, with the acquisitions of Matt Judon and Jeffrey Simmons to upgrade the defense, a lot of people think they're definitely going to be a playoff team. They haven't made the playoffs since 2017. What are your expectations for the Atlanta Falcons? I know they kind of had like some spurts of success. In 2010, they were the overall number one seed. 2013, they were the overall number one seed. And then they went to the Super Bowl in 2016. But what are the expectations for the Falcons? Is to make the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game? But how excited are the Falcon fan base? And how excited are you at part of PNB Broadcasting, Smooth R&B 92.1 being the flagship station for the Atlanta Falcons?
Absolutely. I'm excited for the fans. I'm excited for Raheem Morris and getting his opportunity to lead the Falcons. They made some tremendous moves in the offseason. Of course, we know they got Cousins in at quarterback, again, with a great tandem of young, talented, explosive offensive weapons, just a plethora of those guys. And then I like the fact that they have a line that's going to protect Cousins. And if he's anything like he has been over the years, he's going to light it up. And of course, I love what Coach Morris and his staff has done with regards to bringing in some big name defenders. Of course, you got two of the best safeties in the NFL, of course, with the most recent acquisition of Simmons. But again, just got a lot of wonderful things happening, and of course the folks are going to the ticket office and really expressing their support and their excitement, because again the tickets are flying off the shelves from what I'm understanding as far as the Falcon home games.
DJ, 20 years of sports visions. You and Dale Williams had a vision 20 years ago to have this platform where you can talk local sports talk in Columbus. And I think that it is fascinating how much Sports Visions has grown over the years, along with Thrift Barringer, and you have incredible guests. But going back 20 years ago, when you and Dale had this vision, what was the goal to create Sports Visions? Being in your hometown of Columbus, where you were also the sports director at WRBL. I mean, broadcasting is always been your love along with football, and you just wanted to give back to the community and just continue just covering this local talent here in the Fountain City.
Well, Richard, having the good fortune of having a big brother, and Dale was several years older than me growing up, and we grew up right next to each other in Buena Vista States when I was just knee high to a tadpole, as they say. But we, to have the good fortune of playing Little League ball together, and again, all sports, and then having the good fortune of ending up at the University of Georgia and having the opportunity to play a couple of years there together, especially on the national championship team, and then going off on our separate ways. Of course, Dale went into the private sector, and I went on and played some professional ball and worked for several Fortune 500 companies, man. And, to come back home in 97 like I did, and Dale was here and established, and I came back and started my media career. Being childhood friends, it never leaves you, and you're always wanting to have an opportunity to do something special together. And the good Lord blessed us that we started Sports Visions 20 years ago. And again, it's still here, man. I don't know where the time went. They say, time flies when you're having fun. But we had a ball, spent many hours, many miles on the road, just having conversations, talking about those old times, talking about what we wanted to do, how we wanted to make a difference in our community, and doing something special for the young student athletes and coaches. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. He got sick about 4 years ago, and I was able, by the grace of God, to continue with the efforts and to expand on some of the things that we had planned to do. And of course, we're still here now. Here we are just this month, 20 years. Richard, it's been sensational.
Wow.
It's been fabulous. Dale is still around here in good spirits. He's not, active or mobile, but I just went to see him the other day. He's in great spirits. He keeps up with us, and again, just doing what was done for us. That's what we like to say. Somebody poured into us, and that somebody were all the coaches, all the neighborhood leaders and mentors, and of course, we wanted to take all of the things that we had been able to, I guess, accumulate with regards to our media experience and all of the experiences as athletes, and just bring it back and pay it forward.
Well, DJ, I appreciate what you and Dell have built, and it's really paved the way for up and coming broadcasters. I had Bryce Kuhn on the show last week. He talked about how you and Dale encouraged him to start the Crowded Booth podcast. And I know that I would have got to meet Thrift Behringer. We met accidentally at a basketball game for Campus Academy, and I think that you just have just an amazing platform, and I'm really just privileged to be a part of the Sports Visions family. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, Thrift Behringer and I, part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. DJ, I'm really looking forward to high school game day at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium this Friday. It's going to be an event. I know they're going to be tailgating really early. It's going to be exciting. DJ, but let's go ahead and talk about Kickoff for a Cause. I know that this is something that you and Dave Plata hosted last year. How long has this been going on? And when and where will this be? And how can people that want to be a part of this get tickets?
Absolutely. Of course, Kim Rozicki is the executive director of this particular event, Kickoff for a Cause, and it's just a phenomenal event that started last year. We're actually going to be year two. It'll be the August the 29th. And again, it just kicks off everything college football with regards to, as we see it and know it, as with HBCUs, SEC, ACC schools, and have about 18 or 19 different teams or schools will be represented by an individual. And the goal is to raise money for the Anna Elizabeth Shepherd Home. And, that's a wonderful cause. And, it's when she came to me, Kim came to me or called me last year and was explaining to me what she was trying to do or wanted to do. I was all in. And Dave Plata, what a legend! To have him to be right there in the booth with me up at the Lumpkin Center, and all the wonderful things and wonderful ways to raise money with regards to the silent auctions, and again the individuals representing the different schools from Georgia to Alabama to Auburn to Troy, even the HBCUs, Tuskegee, Fort Valley, Albany State. It makes the 19 total teams, 19 individuals representing their schools, and they're going out and they're calling on their fan bases and their friends and supporters to donate funds, and those funds will equate into points. And of course, we'll have, of course, the number one fan at the end of the event that we will crown, and that will be based on the amount of money that they had raised. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll be there to kind of keep it kind of a ball game like. Thrift is going to be on board this year as our sideline reporter. We'll be streaming live right here, of course, hopefully actually on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live and on the Sports Vision's Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel. So it's a great time, man, and looking forward to it to officially kick off the college football season.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too, DJ. I always have a great time when you come on the Sports Beat. It's just great catching up with you again. I'm looking forward to seeing you this Friday at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium for high school game day. And then you and Thrift Behringer on the call for the Heritage Bowl. Kickoff at 7. I'll be on the call for Valley Glenwood with Michael Peacock. But DJ, before I let you go, tell everybody out there how they could listen or watch the Sports Visions radio show and how they could follow you on social media.
I'll do that, Richard, but I got to do this for you because I really appreciate all that you do, the passion that you have. You're just a joy to watch and listen to. You're articulate. You're spot on with all of the statistics and scores and the names of this. It's amazing. And again, Thrift Behringer, you guys are wonderful talents. And again, I'm privileged to have the opportunity to work with you guys as well. It's easy. When you talk about, 20 years being around Sports Visions, you guys haven't been with me for 20 years, because if you guys have been around me for 20 years, there's no telling where we'll be now, because with what you guys got going on with Georgia, Alabama Sports Live, and of course, the Sports Beat, again, it's a privilege to have you guys and others. This is one talented pool of broadcasters, man, in this area. Got some exciting things going on down the pike, and hopefully one day we will all come together for the common good of sports.
I appreciate those kind words, DJ. I just love sports, and I love just the fact that that we have built this relationship where, I mean, we've been able to network. And I just thank you so much just for being just a blessing and just a talent in this community and just a local legend that I appreciate so much.
With that said, you can catch Thrift and I on Mondays and Thursdays, every Monday and Thursday, live from 4 to 6 o'clock on WLTC HD2. That's 92.1 Smooth R&B. Or you can go to our Facebook page. That's the Sportsvision's TV/radio/magazine. Well, you can catch us cutting up in the studio. Or we also, if you're, maybe perhaps you were just getting back from Paris, or I mean, you're still overseas, we got a Sports Visions radio app that you can catch our show anywhere in the world. So every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 6 o'clock live, or you can go on anytime and catch some of the old shows. Again, today we got some wonderful guests, and I like to go behind the scenes, behind the stage. Obviously, the X's and O's are great, and a lot of shows that do that. But I like to bring some real life to these shows and take you behind the scenes and give you something that perhaps you haven't seen before.
It's DJ Jones, everybody, host of Sports Visions with Thrift Barringer, former Carver Tiger, former Georgia Bulldog, NFL player for the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching another episode of the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we will see you next